well-renowned cosplays you've done as well?
I'd say my Mad Moxie. I did Mad Moxie about 2 years ago, and I actually made it in like 30 days before the convention. And I just stayed up all night, and that one came out really well. I also have a Demon Hunter from Diablo 3 that I spent like 50 to 60 hours working on. It's like a full body Warbler armor. Yeah. So that one, and one of my favorites, that's hard. My favorite would probably be, I really like Jinx from League of Legends. Those are my first cosplays too. And I just really love her giant fish bones gun. It just makes me feel really badass. And then I have a giant light in the middle of it that shines. So that was probably top three.
I know it was kbearcosplay.com.
Kbear Cosplay, yes.
And you've got Patreon and all sorts of other...
I do, yes. I have a Patreon, a website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
All that stuff.
Kbear on all of those.
Kbear on all of those?
Yes.
All right. So we'll kind of let you guys have your own little interview right now, one-on-one. If you have any questions or you guys need anything, feel free to yell. We'll be right in the back of the room as well. If you need us, you can scream. Not too loudly. Okay.
So, July from Pop Samurai. You've been cosplaying since 2015, correct?
Yes, 2015.
Were you doing cosplay before that? Like maybe not?
I actually was not doing any costume, but I did study art. I've studied 2D design and prop making for about 6 years now. I'm actually getting my degree in that as well, so that kind of helped me flow into the cosplay scene and like help me make things like this. So, but no cosplay. 2015 was my first cosplay ever.
Okay. So it's been a few years since you started into 2015 until now. Is there a noticeable difference from how cosplay has been since you started until now? Or, I mean, is there...
It's about the same. Yeah, it's just as fun. I spend just as much time, the night before the convention working on my costume. But yeah, it's probably about the same. I feel like I definitely work harder now though, because when you have I kind of grown a following online, and I just make sure I work very hard to make sure they're all pleased and happy with the work that I'm creating. And I also always try to make sure the next thing I make is better than the last.
Can you describe a little bit about your reaction to how your following grew exponentially from like when you first started? I mean,
it was definitely nothing can prepare you right for the internet. My following kind of sparked when I did a cosplay of Jinx from League of Legends back in 2015. I got a lot of backlash from it, from being a darker skinned girl. Obviously the character is very light skinned. And I got a lot of backlash from that, so my post got like shared infinitely throughout the interwebs, and that kind of snowballed into what I have now. But yeah, the internet is, it can be,
yeah, the internet
can be brutal, right?
Can be both fun and not fun.
For every terrible thing you see on the internet, there's hundreds of amazing things, amazing comments, and amazing people. So I'm very thankful and happy with the internet.
Very good. So you're an avid convention traveler. What's your wide range? You say mainly U.S. or Midwest, or what do you do?
Yeah, I've actually only traveled to one convention outside of the U.S., but mainly in the East Coast and Midwest. I've done a few conventions in the on the West Coast. Like I went to BlizzCon, which was an amazing convention. It's like the epitome of like cosplay convention. They just make amazing things there. But yeah, mostly in the U.S. I hope to travel to maybe like Gamescom or like PAX House in Australia would be awesome. One day when I have the time. Once I graduate, I plan to travel to many overseas conventions, definitely.
How's the Anime Milwaukee 2018 treating you this weekend? How's it been for the fans?
It's awesome. They're great. I love the venue. The venue's the convention center. It's really, really beautiful. I love that there's a skywalk between the high end and the convention center, so you don't have to go out in the 3rd degree weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really great. Everyone here is really, really nice. They're so loving, and everyone just wants to give me hugs, and it's just, I feel really appreciated. So I'm very thankful for that.
With the cosplay community that you're, a part of, but also, do you have a lot of people who are in the cosplay community that you draw inspiration from as well? Or
yes, actually, a few of my friends, I draw inspiration from them. My favorite cosplayer right now who makes amazing builds and designs is Kim Potsu Cosplay. She's a South African cosplayer, and she just goes all out with every single costume. She makes sure her wigs are styled perfectly, all of her details are in place, nothing's falling apart, and I really, really appreciate that craftsmanship and the time that she puts into that. And then I also love Kamui Cosplay. She also is the same way, makes amazing armor builds, amazing sewing jobs, and yeah, I hope one day my skills can get there, so I definitely use them as inspiration.
Do you have a dream build that you like have in the back of your mind? It's like one day.
Oh man, yeah, I really want to do like Sylvanas Windrunner from World of Warcraft, but she's got purple skin, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do body paint that stays on for the convention. But yeah, probably Sylvanas would be my top
Very nice.
dream build.
For the convention circuit, going around in the cosplay community, how would you describe the community of cosplayers? Is it like a very positive environment, very competitive,
yeah.
or?
It can be competitive if you want it to be competitive, like if you're doing cosplay competitions and whatnot. But you should always remember, make your cosplay for you, not for anybody else. Just make it to the point where you're happy about it, and then if you don't win a competition or win the award, just come back next time and try your hardest. Make sure your costume is not 80%, but make sure it's 90, 100%. But overall, the cosplay community is very accepting and very positive in regards to color, weight, shape, size, race, anything like that. Anyone is allowed to cosplay. Anyone is allowed to join this community, and the chances of you getting shunned or backlash or anything in the cosplay community is probably null and zero. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get awful things said. The internet trolls will come after you because you put yourself out there on the internet. People will say things, but 100% of the time, it's not anyone that's actually in the cosplay community saying those things. So don't forget that. The cosplay community is a very welcoming and loving community overall.
Do you have, what are your biggest hobbies outside of cosplay?
My biggest hobby right now is school. Yeah, I'm trying so hard to graduate. I graduate in May, so a lot of my time goes to that. I also really like hiking. I live in Georgia, and there's lots of mountains there that my fiance and I hike all the time. And I also have 2 cats. I love League of Legends, so I spend a lot of time napping with my cats. I spend far too much time playing League of Legends. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do.
For maybe some people out there who are looking to try and get into cosplay, or maybe a little timid about getting into cosplay, do you have any advice for them out there?
I would say I'd say definitely pick a character that you really love and that you're really dedicated to, because if you really love the character, you'll definitely take the time and put that care and effort into making the cosplay look the best that you can. And also, when you first start, you have to remember that the first thing you make isn't going to be the most amazing thing you'll ever make. Like, it may not be perfect, but just make it to the point where you're happy with it, where you feel comfortable, and just exude confidence and be happy with what you did.
Final for the folks out there, where can they go find you once again, just so they know?
I have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm K-Bear with 3 Ys, K-Y-Y-Y, K-A-Y-Y-Y-B-E-R. And then I also have a Patreon page, and my Patreon page is patreon.com/kbear. And then I have a website, which is K-Bear Cosplay, where I sell prints, and it's a little bio section as well. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a great interview. Thank you.
Thank you.